In this video, I'd like to do an overview of the book of Genesis, which in Greek, the word Genesis means beginning. In Hebrew, it's similar, I believe it's Bereshit, which means in the beginning in Hebrew. And the book of Genesis starts at the formation of the world and the universe by God when He spoke it into existence. And it goes all the way to the story of Moses, starting in the book of Exodus, the second book. Most people believe that the author of Genesis was Moses. Obviously, God's the author of the Bible, but Moses was the one who wrote down Genesis in his later life. Some of the outline events of the book, obviously, we start with the creation of the world, the story of man, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Then we move on to the fall of man, the serpent, the devil, tempting Eve and Adam, Cain and Abel in the first murder, the line of Seth, Noah and the flood, the events after the flood, the descendants of Noah, the Tower of Babel, and then we move on to the Hebrew patriarchs, starting with Abraham, his migration from Ur of the Chaldees into the Promised Land. He separates from Lot. Then we deal with his son, his first son Ishmael, the father of the Arab people. Moving on to Abraham's circumcision, and then the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Then the birth of his son Isaac, the father of the Hebrew people. Abraham's offering Isaac up, God staying his hand, the marriage of Isaac, and it goes on to Isaac's sons, his twin sons, Jacob and Esau. And then Jacob takes the blessing that was supposed to be for Esau, the firstborn, by deception. And Jacob's life, his marriage to Leah, Rachel, and his two concubines. Jacob has his name changed to Israel, and he's the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Then the story of how Joseph is Jacob's favorite son, and his coat that he makes him, and then he gets sold into Egypt as a slave by his jealous brothers. And Genesis ends with the stories of Joseph in Egypt and how he reunites with his family in Egypt, and the Hebrew people live in Egypt for 400 years at the end of the book of Genesis. And the book ends with Jacob's blessing his 12 sons in the last days of Joseph. Alright, that was the brief overview. In my next video, I will be breaking down Genesis chapter 1. Thank you.